Hey, everybody. Welcome back into another episode of Lessons with Dad. Yesterday or over the weekend, when I was thinking about what I'm going to do my podcast episode about, I was sitting in a gym watching my son, and it kind of hit me. Have you ever wondered why a lot of times when you see kids or students or anybody, why oftentimes the things you see it's harder for adults to handle than it is for kids to deal with? Well, I had that thought yesterday, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe or tell someone you might be interested in. And let's jump into today's episode. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, sticking around. I got my wonderful coffee mug, Teacher's my superpower mug that I have, and loading up on my daily intake of coffee this morning. Just starting out with a little bit of my weekly recap. Man, another busy week just between open gyms and for basketball during the off seasons and baseball games are ramping up now. So between running back and forth between the gym and the baseball fields, and we don't live in the city that I teach in, and the kids open enrolled so they could come to school with me. So, I mean, it's only like a 15-20 minute drive each way. But then when we go someplace, usually I take them and then I sit and try and do some work. I brainstorm podcast ideas, get my school stuff done so I'm ready for the next day of school. And I mean, not a huge deal, but it is a time consumer thing. And I mean, first world problems, right? But my son had their first baseball tournament. It was kind of a round robin game, but so not a huge thing. But they ended up winning both games, so that's awesome. They are 3-1, but most importantly than the wins, the growth the team has showed and the energy they bring has just been amazing, wonderful, incredible. And I know if you didn't see me talk about it on a previous podcast, the impact adults have on kids' lives, go back and listen or watch that episode because it's really impressive. Like what adults can pull out of kids and the energy the adults bring is matched by the energy the kids bring when they're playing too. My son's baseball tournament was in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, and we stopped at a card shop. If you didn't see our latest card shop pickups, you can look at Wisco Card Kid um, YouTube channel, and I have our most recent pickups posted on there. So that was kind of fun. I mean, Carter and I didn't get to spend as much time as we would have wanted to at the card shop because all the girls, my wife and two daughters, were there, and they were very patient. They went and sat on a couch while we dug through cards for a half hour, 45 minutes, and I ended up walking away with a couple cards. Carter got a couple cards, and all in all, it was a good visit. And the amazing card shop, wonderful. Highly recommend if you're ever in the area, doing stuff or going there and stopping and looking through some cards if you have some time. Sunday, then we just had, I mean, it was a rainy day. It's raining this morning as I'm making the podcast and thundering, and girls woke up a couple times throughout the night. But Sunday we got a day at home. So we actually got to work on some house things that have been put off and got cleaned up and adulted more than I would have liked to, but pulled the fridge out, cleaned behind it, pulled the oven out. Now you can look at pictures of that. Then it was off to basketball open gym at nighttime. But and then besides that, we got 2 weeks till our puppy will be coming. So trying to finalize house prep, get toys, beds, cages, bowls, all of that fun stuff ready for when our dog comes. And if you have any names for dogs recommended, we're always open. Leave a comment of idea. It's going to be a boy dog. It's going to be a boxer. We're very Wisconsin people into sports. So if you can somehow tie that to the name, that would be great. But if you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments, and we're always open to suggestions. And maybe can maybe we'll love one of your comments because we're having trouble coming up with like concrete. We have a couple in mind, but really deciding on a concrete name for our dog. And then we have just all of our end of the year. Well, I shouldn't say I have all of our end of the year, IEP meetings for specialists, trying to wrap up loose ends at the end of the year and tie things up, finishing up curriculum, and then doing all the fun end of the year stuff. And that comes with fourth grade and being the oldest class at our school. And they'll be moving on to a new building next year. So lots of happenings going on and busy time of the year for us. But all right. So that's kind of the weekly wrap up. Going to get into our topic for today, which I was thinking, I wasn't sure exactly. I mean, I have ideas, but as the school year kind of winds down, I don't know if I should keep it more school, parent, what focus I should put on it for lessons with dad. But one of the things, like, I took my son to open gym last night, and it dawned on me, like, as I was watching him, I try really not to be a helicopter parent and let them go off and explore. And I know teaching in my classroom, I always talk about the productive struggles. Like, if something's hard for you to overcome it, like if you need to take a break, step away, figure things out, take a deep breath, and then come back to it when you're ready. And why is that so hard for adults and parents to do when you see kids struggling? I know for me, myself, it's hard in the classroom when I see kids struggling and I so bad just want to step in and help them because one, I feel like that's my job and I'm supposed to be there to help them. But is that really helping them? Is that really then helping teach them skills they need to be successful in life beyond? And the hard part is, like, I teach fourth grade, so 9 and 10 year olds. It's like, as a 9 and 10 year old, am I really doing them justice, and are they really learning from that experience? But then it's like, I walked in and my son had some friends at open gym last night and they were shooting around and he was just on a basket on his own, and they went and played pick up ball on the other side, and I was like, why isn't he going and playing with them? And it was like, as I sat there and contemplated in my head, like, why would he not do that? Why would he not go play with his friends? And I think it was harder on me watching him do that and not be included than it was for him just shooting around. And as I reflected on that, I was like, that would be a good podcast episode to talk about. Like, why is it when things happen, it's usually harder on the adult watching it happen than it is on the kid in the moment who it's happening to? And come to find out, like, he didn't want to. He wanted to work on his shooting and his dribbling and do some drills on his own and practice shooting rather than play a pickup game. And you know what? As I sat there later, he ended up going over playing some pickup games and everything worked out. And as we were driving home and I talked to him, he kind of said that. And he said there were some kids that he knew that he did not necessarily want to play with. So, hey, great choice. All right. I respect that. Like, making good choices, can't fault him for that. And he wanted to work on his stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, all in all, as I'm sitting there struggling internally with him not playing and being part of that, and maybe I was interpreting as being left out and not included, it was his choice not to. And all in all, him working on his individual skills probably helped him better in the long run than him running up and down the court a few times playing a pickup game where who knows what may have happened, right? So, in me stepping back and not getting involved, I think one, I learned, hey, my son's got a pretty good head on his shoulders and made a good choice for himself and a wise choice, and makes me even trust him. And I always say my son is probably more of a parental figure than I am because he's very responsible. And but then I was trying to tie that into the classroom too. And so often times in class, like, I tell kids, just try that. Through growth mindset, you learn a lot more from trying and getting things wrong a lot than you do from getting everything right. Like my motto is, if you don't fail in class at some point throughout the year, one, I'm not challenging you enough, and two, it's not hard enough. And through failure and your productive struggles, you grow your brain more, you learn more. So that was kind of what I wanted to talk about. And a lot of times we as adults, we so instantly want to fix things. We are instant fixers and we want to fix things and get through it and um, help them. But if you step back, like, is it really helping them? Are we really teaching them how to solve problems? Like, there's always going to be that kid out on the playground who is there, right? And if we always step in as an adult, how are they going to learn or know when an adult is not there? I don't always have somebody walking around in my life telling me what I should or should not do and what's a good choice or a bad choice and how to problem solve and fix it. So that's what I'm trying to get into my own kids and my students. Like, if you have a problem, where are you going to go? What steps are you taking? And then I am always there for you. But what have you done before you come to fix the problem, right? And right now, with summer coming up, like we're all having those productive struggles, especially like, like students, the weather's getting warmer. They see the sun shining outside. They want to be outside playing. Teachers see it. We're trying to keep the focus. But secretly, teachers want summer to come just as much as students do. Because guess what? We're ready for a break. We're getting burnt out. We're ready for just a few days away. So as we're coming down the stretch here, it's been fun. Like, I really like my class, but teachers get just as excited for summer as students do. And the productive struggle is real, and we're all trying to figure it out. But that's what I just kind of wanted to talk about. And like, it's just interesting. And a lot of times it affects the adults a lot more than the kids. And I think it boils down to because we care. And it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing that we care so much. But we also have to learn to step back and let them learn through their mistakes and failures. And I talk about that in sports a lot too, being a coach and things. And it's hard to follow those guidelines. And I find myself not doing it or giving them time to reflect. And nobody's going out there trying to make a mistake or an error or do anything. But when it does happen, we can be there to pick them up. And I think that's the most important thing, and let them learn from it so that it doesn't continue to happen and have the snowball effect. So thank you. That is this week's episode. If you're new, don't forget to like, subscribe. If you think of a dog name, leave a dog name for us because we're still trying to figure out what we can name our new puppy. It's going to be a boy, a boxer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything you want to hear me talk about or blabber on about in the podcast, leave it in the comment section. And thanks for joining us on Lessons with Dad, where we're always surviving the chaos while hopefully collecting some wisdom along the way. See you next week, everyone.